Hi, everybody. Welcome. You know what day it is and what time it is. It's opposite Saxes, Thursday, 1 o'clock. Here we are, like always.
Good job. You get into it, don't you? Yeah.
Well, yeah, are we happy? We're here.
Yeah, we're here. So what
We're
what
vertical.
what choice do we have?
Yeah.
You have to get into it because we're here. Otherwise, we just say
Okay.
goodbye, see you next week.
I mean, next time, if you want, I won't be as happy.
Oh, I like when you're chipper.
Chipper.
Yeah, chipper. Oh, lively and chipper.
Well, we're here and we are talking about
Overpacking. We- You
whose
know,
idea it was probably mine because I overpack.
well, no, because we're talking about, maybe going on another cruise or going on another road trip. And you learn over the years, how to pack. And I was commenting to you about when we first started cruising, when we lived in Florida, you would pack 6 bags or so, two big suitcases and two medium-sized suitcases and a couple of carry-ons and all. And
I think you
because you don't know what to
I don't think we
expect
had
for.
that much.
Yeah.
We didn't have that much.
No,
But we
originally,
overpacked.
because the first
The
couple
first,
cruises,
we took big suitcases, one of each.
th- no, no,
Yeah.
no,
And
no.
then I
We
had a
took
carry-on.
more.
No.
I remember because the cruise line gave you instructions about you had 2 formal nights, so you had to take a couple of really nice outfits. I think I had a tuxedo at that time, and I took it for whatever reason. I don't know.
And you wore it.
You wore it, and then you realized, geez, no,
What the heck do
hardly
I need it?
anybody's wearing a
Yeah.
tuxedo, so I don't need it next time.
Right.
But the point is, you feel like I have to have a different outfit for every day. You end up packing 3 or 4 bathing suits because you're going to be on an
Well,
island
not
one
only
day.
that, but we thought we were going to go snorkeling. We were going to do so many things. So we
Take
did
all
have a
your
separate
snorkel equipment.
suitcase for that, which we never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That,
that I agree with you, but and plus the fact in those cabins, you don't have a lot of room to put your luggage.
right. Well,
There's no
then
almost no
you
place.
get smart and you buy the luggage that nests,
Right.
that goes inside of each other, so
So
you
you
can
have
put
one
three or
suitcase.
four bags all into your large
Yeah.
suitcase, and then you have room for everything. But the point is, we have a tendency, if you take a road trip, good Lord, you may be going on the road for a week, and maybe you're specifically going to visit somebody. The trunk of the car is filled with bags and cases. The back seat is filled with bags of food and snacks and you have a tendency to overload. When we used to travel with the dog, you had the dog's bed, you had the dog bag for the
Mhm.
dog with all of its toys and its we have a tendency to overpack, and then the more trips you take, like
The
when
more
we
seasoned you
when we
become.
moved, we can go on a cruise ship right now with one big bag and then I'll take like a medium sized bag and a carry-on and a backpack or so to put
And
like
it's probably still too much.
yeah, and you learn how to mix and match. So, I can travel with for a week or two with 2 pair of shorts, but I'll take maybe 3 or 4, a collared shirt, like a polo shirt, and a couple of t-shirts. Well, that I can wear either of the t-shirts or polo shirts with either pair of
But
shorts.
according to what our children do, that is still too much.
Well,
Our kids will
they travel a
take
lot.
carry-on for 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do
Our
it.
son used, our son and daughter both. She would often
And,
travel internationally.
and
He
she
would
does. She
travel
still
all over
does.
the country to go to conventions and all. And he's already got his suitcase pre-packed. He comes home from a trip. He does his laundry, puts it right back into that suitcase, so that when he leaves, all he's got to do is pick up that bag and off to the
But our
airport he
daughter,
goes.
when she's traveling international, she will only do carry-on. And I understand why, because so many people have lost their luggage and she doesn't want to have all of that to carry around from.
Sit in the airport
Yeah,
waiting for the
right,
luggage
right.
to come.
So she puts everything in a very small case. I don't know how she does it. Um,
Yeah.
and I envy her. I envy our kids because they have gotten to the point where they can do it. I am old school and I can't because, well, what happens if it's warm? Well, so then I need a lighter weight shirt. And what happens if it's cold? I should have a jacket and a sweater. What happens if it rains? Well, now maybe I need another pair of shoes for the rain.
And I subscribe to the theory that wherever you go, they can sell you something if you need it. In other words, if you didn't take an umbrella and you go someplace and it's going to rain constantly for 2 or 3 days, you go over and you buy a small umbrella,
You
you know,
say that, but
or
in
you buy
reality,
a windbreaker. And you know me, I always end up buying a souvenir T-shirt or something from wherever we've gone.
when we've gone to those ports, wherever we are, they don't always have those things. They have the veritable t-shirts and sweatshirts and flip-flop sandals
Yeah, everybody
and bathing
everybody's got
suits.
hoodies.
But if you want an umbrella, it's not always there. And if you want something for the rain, it's not always there. But a rain
Uh,
poncho is thin. You can pack that
they
easy.
they
That's
but
easy.
they even have those in the gift shop on the cruise ships because they know that from time to time
For
you're
a
going to need it.
price, you can get
You can get
anything. But
anything
if you
that you
don't want to spend $50 on a little rain nothing coat, um, I just feel you're better off to have it with you rather than go searching for it and pay extra for it.
you know what one of the best raincoats is to travel with? A black garbage bag.
Oh yeah, that's lovely looking.
No,
And it's also hot.
I'm just saying that I learned really from my sister that you throw an extra garbage bag in. Number one, you can use it as your dirty laundry bag if you need to. But if you know you're going out on that tour and it's going to rain, you got this nicely folded up little garbage bag. You just open a hole in the top to go over your head. You open a couple of holes in the side and now you are protected from the elements. And when you're all finished, you rip it off, you wad it up, you throw it in
But
the
you of
trash can.
all people should know how warm those are.
If you're indoors, but if you're outdoors in the elements, chances are it isn't going to be that that warm. It
Sorry,
depends on where you're going.
I'm not wearing a garbage bag. I,
I didn't pay
I
all
was
this money to come all this way to wear a
no,
garbage bag.
and I wasn't brought up that way.
But
Ah, no, no,
I'll
no,
tell you
no.
one of the
I
places
got to be awfully desperate to wear a
I'll
garbage
tell you
bag.
one of the places where I have seen people wear garbage bags. Niagara Falls. When
Well,
you
then
go
I,
on the boat
right.
underneath the falls and all, you don't need a $80 rain
Well, they
gear.
give it to you because
Well,
you've already paid the
no,
hundred
they
dollars for
don't
the
give it
trip.
to you. You can buy it.
I thought it goes along. No, 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 no. They gave it to us
Well,
because it went along with
you're
the
talking
ticket.
20 or 30 years ago. I
Well,
think today they will sell you a slicker or, something, some kind of a, with a, like they have at the
well,
ballpark.
maybe it's a nice slicker that says Niagara Falls or
Right.
something.
Exactly.
Well,
But I'm just well off with mine that says hefty. Yeah. Hey, go into the falls, get the thing soaking wet, pull it off, throw it away, and end of your slicker. And
but
I got another one in the suitcase just in case.
but there's
Yeah.
a way to pack, and we need to do more of that. And that I think that rolling helps. I think
You started
it
rolling
does help.
and you can maximize the space in your
Yeah.
suitcase. I, for instance, will also take a pair of like flip-flop type thing because that can serve as your footwear if you're going to go down to the pool or to the hot tub, but it also serves as your slippers inside your cabin.
But
Uh,
what happens if you're not going on a cruise? What happens if you're sightseeing in Colorado or Utah, like we talk about,
Well,
and all that?
I take one pair of nice, comfortable loafers that I can wear with a pair of shorts or with a pair of
Right.
slacks
And
to
then a
go out for
walking
dinner,
shoe.
and then you take a pair of cross trainers or walking type shoes.
Right.
And that is if you're going to do any outside walking distance, you're going on a tour, you're going to be climbing stairs, you have that, and a pair of slippers. Three pair of footwear and all will
Yeah,
last
so
will last
that's
for a
about
whole
right.
week or more.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then jackets, you take like one jacket, usually has a hood, and then the others are more
The best jacket
sweatshirts.
to invest in is one of those that where the hood kind of rolls up and
Right.
zips
And
into
it
the
zips it.
collar,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also it's like a jacket, but if the weather gets inclement or something, you can unzip it and wear it that way. And you need one of those. You don't have to have a jacket for if it's going to be
No.
70 and if a jacket if it's going to be 40
No,
or
you just
so.
have to layer.
Yeah. And you take a shawl because
I
sometimes
do.
if you're going to maybe on if you're on a cruise ship and you're going to go down to the theater, you take a shawl with
But
you.
I'm not even okay. Or
Just
if you're in the United States and you're just at a restaurant, it can be cool. A
right,
shawl is easy to pack in my purse or stuff in a pocket of a coat.
right.
Um,
Shawl's always a very, very good item
yeah.
to have. Yeah,
But I just
but and in your when you're traveling, you don't need pajamas. You can wear your underwear at night. You don't need a bathrobe. A lot of times hotels will provide those if you're staying in a hotel and you need one.
what happens like the one where were we? I think that was Niagara Falls. We were in the hotel and there was
And they had a
not
fire
one but
drill
two fire
in
emergencies.
the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And everybody ran out into the street and down the
Yeah.
elevators and
Right,
all.
right, right.
And they were pretty much just dressed the way they were in their rooms. You
Yeah,
grab,
you have a t-shirt and a pair of pants and
yeah, you
you're
just
done.
throw something on. Who cares, right?
I'm just saying, I
But
still at my ripe age, old age, I'm still learning how to pack because I've overpacked all these years.
my daughter bought me a suitcase many years ago, and all with the White Sox logo on it,
Right.
and all that has been my go-to
Yes, it has.
suitcase, whether I'm traveling for the weekend or I'm traveling, for 2 weeks. I can get everything that I need in that suitcase, and if necessary, I'll take a second carry-on bag or something to put an extra pair of shoes or to put
A
some
jacket.
larger items, jacket. If you're going to a place where you know it's going to be a little colder, you can put extra things in that. But that suitcase has got lots of
But that's not a
pockets.
carry-on either.
It is.
It is a
Yep,
carry-on?
I could put it.
Oh, you can.
I used to put
I
it
never remember.
over the head in the airplane.
Yeah, I think I have to really try harder. I mean, it's because that's tough for me.
Well, but lately we have done more road trips, and that
Yeah.
allows you to throw an
That's
extra.
worse
Yeah,
because then you throw everything you have. Well, I might need that. I might need that. Well, we've got the car. I'll throw this in.
and you can do
And
that.
that's almost worse because then your
Yeah,
car is full.
but we also have it where we will pack a suitcase for the destination where we're driving to,
Right.
but then we pack another little bag.
Tiny. That's what we
So
have
if you
started doing
stop
it.
to at a motel, you take out that small bag, this small bag. I take my little computer bag
And we're
and
done.
everything. End of story.
Because you don't need that much.
Yeah, and everything else is tucked in the
Yeah.
trunk.
That I've gotten better at. Much better.
Yeah.
That's the other
And
stuff I
when is
haven't.
somebody going to stop you on a cruise ship or whatever and say, "Excuse me, but haven't you worn that shirt about 3 times this week?" You know?
You never know.
Yeah. Or as soon as you get on the cruise ship, you go down to the gift shop and you buy a shirt that's got the name of the ship on it, and you wear that over every. You put it over your bathing suit. You put it when you get off the ship. But whatever. You
Still learning.
you learn over the years about packing. And then later in your life, you learn that what you have done when you travel is maybe now going to translate into how you're going to live because you get to the point where you want to start thinking about
Yeah.
downsizing and how you have gotten everything that you own into a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house with a double garage and everything. And now you're going to go into a
Hey,
2 bedroom, 1 bath.
that's a whole nother podcast.
That's
But I just say get whatever you can in your shoes that go in the suitcase.
Yes, and
However,
that
underwear,
and
socks,
that's another tip.
anything you
Don't pack your
can.
shoes by themselves in the
No,
suitcase.
you've got to
Put your
put,
socks inside the
oh yeah.
shoes. Even roll up some of your underwear, stuff it in your
Oh,
shoes, and put it in the suitcase.
yeah.
But
Now I know why I take so many shoes.
you started. Yeah, I'm not just taking a lot of shoes. I'm keeping my socks and my underwear, safe. But what you talked about earlier about rolling. It's incredible how many little corners there are in a
That you can get
suitcase.
in there.
After you put your big stuff in there, there are little nooks and crannies all around it. And if you roll up your underwear, you roll up t-shirts, and belts, all
Right.
kinds of extra things. It's amazing how you can
Little
stuff those
books that you
in the.
want to take.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't take anything where I iron. Although I don't iron anymore because most of the fabrics you don't need to iron it, or who really cares?
That's right.
If there's needs a little ironing, you hang it in the shower
Put it
in
on
your
a
room.
hanger and turn the shower on and put it in the bathroom for a little
But
bit, and the
yeah,
wrinkles
but
are.
I don't take a lot of things that need to be laundered a lot. So that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Just
See,
whatever.
this show is not only entertaining, but it's very, very educational and informative. We can teach you just about anything because we kind of
We're
absorbed it
learning.
and learned it along the way. You know, and very often when we have travel and you see how people are rolling 3 or 4 suitcases down the hall into a hotel room just to stay overnight, you look and you go, You're doing it wrong." But we would never
But
tell
who
them
are
that.
we to say that?
Yeah, you'll learn. You'll learn.
Wherever you go, we hope you have happy travels.
Yep. And come back and see us again next Thursday. We'll be here, 1 o'clock, right?
Bye.
Bye.